Hey there, United faithful. You're tuned in to United in Red, where we break down everything happening with Manchester United. Let's get into the latest updates from Old Trafford. Casemiro, a name that once stood as the epitome of defensive mastery, now finds himself in an unexpected and rapid decline at Manchester United. Less than 2 years ago, the Brazilian midfield maestro arrived at Old Trafford as a savior, bringing with him 5 Champions League titles and a reputation as arguably the best defensive midfielder in the world. But fast forward to today, and Casemiro has become a subject of frustration and scrutiny among United fans, with some even calling for the club to part ways with him. So where did it all go wrong for a player once heralded as a rock-solid presence? Before diving into Casemiro's recent struggles, it's important to understand the magnitude of his influence at Real Madrid. Throughout his time in Spain, he was an essential cog in Zinedine Zidane's all-conquering side, shielding the defense and allowing the likes of Luka Modric and Toni Kroos to operate with freedom. Casemiro's positional discipline, physicality, and ability to break up play made him a nightmare for attackers. His experience and leadership, forged in the cauldron of some of the world's biggest matches, made him the perfect addition for a United team desperately seeking stability in midfield. When Casemiro arrived in Manchester in the summer of 2022, the excitement among United fans was palpable. It was a statement signing, a testament to United's ambition to return to the top. And initially, he did not disappoint. His performances during the 2022-23 season were nothing short of brilliant. He played a crucial role in United winning the Carabao Cup and securing a top-4 finish, adding grit and intelligence to a previously fragile midfield. However, Casemiro's honeymoon period at Manchester United was short-lived. The following season saw a dramatic dip in form, and it's hard to pinpoint just one reason for the downfall. One of the most obvious factors is age. At 32, Casemiro is no longer the tireless enforcer he once was. The Premier League's intensity and fast pace are unforgiving for aging players, and there are signs that the Brazilian is struggling to keep up with the speed of the game. Casemiro's once immense work rate and defensive contributions have noticeably diminished. His ability to cover ground, intercept passes, and win challenges seems to have regressed. Fitness issues have also plagued him, as seen in a noticeable drop in his pressing intensity and mobility. His physicality, once a strength, now sometimes becomes a liability, with United's midfield being overrun by younger, more dynamic opponents. This has led to questions over whether his style of play can still be effective in the Premier League, where pace and athleticism are paramount. Additionally, the changes in Manchester United's tactics under manager Erik Ten Hag may have contributed to Casemiro's struggles. As United's style of play has evolved, there's been a growing emphasis on quick transitions and pressing higher up the pitch. Casemiro, however, excels in a more structured, compact setup, where he can focus on breaking up play. The shift in tactics has exposed Casemiro's limitations, and his role in this system seems ill-suited to his current physical state. What makes Casemiro's situation even more complicated is the growing discontent among United fans. There's a belief that the club made a mistake by investing so heavily in a player who is past his prime, especially given the hefty transfer fee and wages involved. Some supporters are beginning to view him as a financial burden, contributing to the calls for United to consider terminating his contract or finding a way to move him on. The frustration from fans stems from the perception that Casemiro is no longer able to contribute at the level required for a club with ambitions of challenging for major honors. While he was once considered untouchable in United's starting at Zai, recent performances have made him a target for criticism. His struggles have coincided with United's inconsistent form, and there's a growing feeling that United needs fresh legs in midfield to revitalize the team. While the narrative around Casemiro seems grim, it's worth considering whether there's a path to redemption for the Brazilian. His experience, leadership, and winning mentality still make him a valuable asset. Perhaps a more pragmatic approach, one that acknowledges his limitations and utilizes him in specific scenarios, could extend his career. Instead of playing every match, managing his minutes and deploying him in games where his physicality and positioning are most needed could prove effective. Moreover, Casemiro's mentality should not be underestimated. He has defied the odds before, building a career that few could have predicted. If he can adapt his game to compensate for his reduced physical attributes, there's still a chance for him to play an important role at Manchester United. A tactical shift to protect him, such as pairing him with a more mobile midfielder, might also help prolong his influence. Casemiro's downfall at Manchester United is a stark reminder of how quickly fortunes can change in football. From a world-class midfielder to a figure of frustration, the Brazilian's decline has been dramatic, but it would be premature to write him off entirely. While he may no longer be the force he once was, with the right management and adjustments, Casemiro still has the potential to contribute meaningfully in the twilight of his career. The question now is whether Manchester United will afford him the time to adapt, or if they will turn their back on the Brazilian midfielder for good. Only time will tell if Casemiro can rise again, or if his decline is irreversible. That's all for today's roundup from United in Red. Make sure to stay connected for more inside scoops, match analysis, and news from our favorite club. Share your thoughts with us and keep that United spirit alive. We'll be back with more soon. Until then, keep the red flag flying high.